Welcome to the Cougar Cast here at the Kokomo Post Sports. I'm your host, Jay Stevens, and this is a place to get all the information on what's going on inside the athletic department at IU Kokomo. And joining us once again here in the new year, it's my guy, Grant Patterson. He is one of the two assistant ADs at IUK. And Grant, you guys have been busy, man.
Yeah, busy to say the least, Jay. I walked in the office this morning considering we had yesterday off for MLK Day, and man, it was nice to come in the office and not have a home game this week. As much as I love putting together these home events, it's nice to finally get a break in 2025. The first 3 Saturdays of the year, we've had men's and women's doubleheaders, and we didn't have one in 2024 for this 24-25 season. So it had been a while since we've had a doubleheader. Doubleheader days are taxing, so we'll enjoy a week off of no home sporting events. Like I said, it will be nice, not just for me, but for our whole game day administration and support staff. Yeah, like I said, just a nice change of pace.
A change of pace was correct for you guys and also for the indoor track and field team as they got their first indoor meet in the new year underway. And, man, I went back to the website just trying to see what happened in that event. And Gabe Wedmore is another Cougar that has punched his ticket, qualified via the B standard for the indoor national meet.
Yeah, those of us close to the program knew this was a matter of time. Gabe dealt with some injury problems last year in his sophomore campaign. Earlier this season, he threw a B standard, but was competing unattached, so it didn't count towards the NAIA standards. So it's awesome to see. I knew it was just a matter of time, like I just mentioned. And this is the first full roster meet of the season. As far as I am aware, this is the first time that Coach Colvin and company, Coach Five Coat, took a full roster of both men and women track and field student athletes to an event. So kind of while you're not competing for a team score, you are still, it feels more real. You know what I mean? More of competition. Like whereas the competition in 2024, that was part of the season, feels more preseason like, if you will. So hard to describe that for those that aren't familiar with it. But Gabe Wedmore, he punched his ticket to Gainesville, and we'll be seeing him competing in the shot put. I believe he was competing in the open shot put, as we saw Sydney would compete in the invite. But yeah, it was a strong week for Gabe. Lives with Coach Colvin here in town, so it's special for Coach Colvin and Gabe to see Gabe convert and punch his ticket to nationals for the first time of his career.
Another Cougar athlete that at this event did some amazing things was Sydney Duncan. She was once again recognized by the River States Conference as the Women's Field Athlete of the Week. And Grant, it seems like every week, every time we come on here, if there's a track and field meet, no matter if it's indoor or outdoor, Sydney's name comes up because she is a beast, and she gets recognized by the conference for her accomplishments over the weekend.
Yeah, it's not every sport, every day you get a chance to be a 2-time All-American in your freshman year. We've touched on that in the past. She is a 2-time All-American in shot put, having done it at indoor and outdoor nationals in her freshman year, and she's going to have the chance to do it, as we've touched on this recently, probably as recently as last week's show. We've touched on her going to Gainesville with shot put. Well, as a result of her being ranked number 1 in the nation with Division I track meets, when there's so many schools that are available to come and stuff, they have to limit the entries, if you will. And so she competed in the invite-only shot put, tossed a throw that was nowhere near her best of the year, but her best of the year is a lot better than anybody else in the NAIA. So her throw was like 0.86 meters short or further than the next closest throw in the NAIA to this season. So of this season. So to say that she's cruising right now, she's been dominant. Still plenty of former All-Americans that are in the running that haven't thrown yet or have delivered some good throws and are climbing. But Sydney's off to a great start, and she didn't just stop there in shot put, Jay. She's only qualified in shot put so far for NAIA Indoor Nationals in Gainesville at the end of February, but she also competed in the open weight throw and won that Saturday at Grand Valley State. So if she were competing in the invite weight throw, she would have finished 6th in the invite weight throw. So maybe she should have earned an invite into both, but she had never qualified for NAIA Indoor Nationals in weight throw. So you can't slam GVSU and Grand Valley State for not inviting her. But hey, she made her mark on the invite this past weekend and won, as I mentioned, the weight throw. So yeah, she won weight throw and shot put, and I'm not sure she's lost an event she's competed in. I don't think she competed in weight throw at IU when she competed in shot put and won. So, yeah, she's shown that we're very lucky to have a talent like Sydney Duncan, a local product from Anderson, Indiana, and Frankton High School. It's awesome to have her. But the talent didn't stop there on the women's side this weekend, Jay.
No, it did not stop there at all. It's Leslie Spankle's one that I know we touched on in the previous athletic calendar. I don't know if we touched on her enough this year in the athletic calendar, but Leslie Spankles in the 600 meter, she did her own thing.
Yeah, she did her thing, to say the least. Set a school record, if I remember right, Jay, and finished towards the top of the meet. And that's a meet that normally your shorter distances, the shorter the distance, the more competitors I feel like you're going to have in it. At least this is coming from a guy that's just learning the track and field. Not industry, if you will, but how they put on these events and TFers and these nice websites that have all these statistics. Leslie she's at the top of the conference in the 600 meters now. She was behind Laura Hamm of Rio Grande in the 800 meters, and I believe she just bested Laura in the 600 meters. If she didn't best Laura, she bested somebody else, because I do know for a fact she's number one in the River States Conference in the 600 meter race. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Leslie's 600, I feel like, is a shorter distance for someone who typically focuses on distance running, considering she is a member of our women's cross country team in the fall. So interesting to see. But man, like I said, already ranked second in the 800 meter. Go out and go first in the 600 meter dash, that's setting your sights high, considering we're still probably about 3 weeks to a month out from indoor conference championships. I should say probably a month out from indoor conference championships and about 5 weeks out from NAI indoor national championships. So it'll be interesting to see how this goes. But obviously Leslie's ranked number one in the 600, two in the 800. She's definitely going to have a chance to hit a B standard or A standard.
A week ago, there was a doubleheader on Tuesday between IUK and St. Mary's of the Woods. It was a big-time basketball matchup for both the men's and women's programs. And we were recording last week's show before that game. So I was just trying to follow along on social media to figure out what was going on with the game. And IUK won both games.
Yeah.
The men won, the women won. The women won by 1 point. The men won by 7. It's just huge to get those kinds of wins when you're competing to be at the top of your conference. When they come to your home court and you end that with a victory, that's a great morale boost for both programs.
Yeah, first off, we'll touch on the men's game. It was a little bit of a tale of two different stories. We struggled early in the men's game, then gained some distance. Like I told their head coach and Jesse McClung, I love watching him coach. I love watching his guys compete. I stopped him after the game and told him that, and he's really impressive to watch on the sideline. Not that Coach Eckelbarger is not, obviously, but that was a massive win for our program. 91-84 victory over a Pomeroy squad that was winning the league at that point in time, and so our win with them tied us for the lead, and not only in our division of the River States Conference, but the entire River States Conference, due to Rio Grande losing last Tuesday at IU East. But since obviously we fell Saturday against IU East in both the men's and women's games, so we've since fallen out in a tie for second for maybe not the entire River States Conference, but definitely the West Division, as we touched on earlier, Jay. But yeah, it was a weird week. Anytime. Those are two big matchups. Yeah. It's hard to get up for one big matchup, and then later in the week you have another big matchup. It's hard to get up for two massive matchups in 1 week. And I think Coach Eckelbarger, Coach Spivey, Coach Lennon Hardy would all tell you the same thing, that it's hard to get up for two massive matchups, one against the number one team in your division and one against one of the other better teams in your conference, but your biggest conference rival in IU East. So got up for the big win last Tuesday, the 7-point home win for the men's basketball squad. They would fall this past Saturday against IU East. IU East knocked down a triple with about 11 seconds remaining to extend their lead to 4, and they would hold on to beat us 97-93. So tough loss there, but that was an 8 or 9 game winning streak, Jay, for men's basketball that comes to an end. They're 13-5. They're in fine shape. Only 2 losses in River States Conference play, and 4-2 puts them in a tie for second in the West Division. And like we didn't look at that, Jay, but they may even be at the tied for second in the River States Conference as a whole. So men's basketball is in a fine spot, sitting at 4-2 or 4-2. Yep, in conference play. So women's basketball, on the other hand, their Tuesday game was a lot different than the men's game. Close game throughout for much of the game. If I remember right, we gained some distance in the second half, third and fourth quarters, and then, man, out of nowhere, St. Mary of the Woods knocked down some shots down the stretch, and you look up at the scoreboard, and thank goodness the clock ran out when they knocked down that last 3. Coach Lisa Pfluger would say the same thing. All of a sudden, they were hitting some shots, some contested shots against some pressure, and you look up, and that last 3 puts them down 1 point at 71-70 or 61-60. I can't remember exactly, but you're just thankful that the clock was showing zeros or 1 second at that time. So, women's basketball held on. for the win over a St. Mary of the Woods squad that we've had trouble beating ever since I've been around IU Kokomo. Terry Bowe does a great job with their women's program there. So that's a massive win to go above 500 in River State's conference play with that win Tuesday. Yes, the women would fall against an IUE squad at home on Saturday, so they would fall back to 3-3. But as we just touched on with the men, Jay, we just looked before the show. The women are also ranked second in the West Division at 3-3. So no matter the record, they're still second in the West Division, still within striking distance. The women are tied with Brescia and IU Southeast, and we still have one more matchup with each of them to go this year.
Okay.
Having already beaten Southeast at their place, Southeast still has to play here, and we fell at Brescia, and Brescia will still have to come here. So still plenty of opportunity for our women's basketball team. And last week you asked me, are we going to be hosting?
Yeah.
Are we going to be hosting conference tournament games? I would definitely say men are still looking great to host tournament games, and man, women are looking as good as they ever have to host a tournament game at 3-3 and second in the West Division.
So what does it take to host a tournament game?
Yeah, so my guess would be top 4.
Okay.
If I'm assuming right, because you'll have 4 quarterfinals.
Overall top 4, not top 2 in each division.
Correct. Top 4 in the entire conference.
Okay.
But that may be the top 2 from the West Division and top 2 from the East Division. So I'll dig into that deeper. My guess is it's one of those two for sure. It's either the top 2 from each of the divisions or the top 4 overall, regardless of the division. Because that where all 4 could come from the East and nobody come from the West, which I don't necessarily disagree that shouldn't be the way. I'm just not sure which way the conference goes with it this year. So we'll have to look that up and let the viewers know for the next show, but still plenty of opportunity to catch our Cougar squads. I know we have this this week of no home events this week, but man, we return with a vengeance next week and have about 3 home games in 10 days.
One thing that I know about people in Kokomo and Indiana and anywhere in the Midwest right now, you're probably looking to go somewhere south, maybe Tennessee, maybe Georgia. You give me Florida or Jamaica, I'm happy. But anywhere further south outside of these frigid temperatures, I'm excited. And some of you are baseball fans and like Cougar baseball. Well, Grant, there's an opportunity here soon, coming up very, very shortly, for Cougar baseball fans to travel south to watch them play.
Yeah, awesome opportunity to travel south. If you care about baseball and care about warm weather, this is perfect situation
You're exactly
for you.
Right.
And it's before spring training starts up. You're not watching baseball at a high level anywhere else in the world right now. I mean, in your Mexican and Dominican Republic summer leagues, the Cuban and Puerto Rican summer leagues, you're obviously getting some great talent there. But those are places you can play year-round. Here in America, especially the Midwest and the Great Lakes, you cannot play year-round. So baseball will kick off in about probably 12 days, I think. Yeah, 11 days. February 1st and 2nd are is their first weekend of the year. So just around the corner, head coach Jeremy Honecker will lead them into battle along with pitching coach Justin Reed and assistant coach Luke Barnes. They'll be prepped, but this Saturday it'll be nice to have a little first pitch dinner. The first ever IU Kokomo baseball first pitch dinner will be held on campus at IU Kokomo. Big shout out to Alexa Roberts, one of our assistant ADs, our other assistant AD. She is in charge of operations. She's spearheaded this along with Crystal Jones and all the advancement on the other side of campus. They've all been working tirelessly to put this on this Saturday, so I'm excited to help out in any way that I can, because typically this is an event that I help out in, but since I've got a dead home week, I said, hey, let me know how I can help. So an awesome event coming up this weekend. Too late to purchase tickets for this year's event, but stay tuned come 2026. We will have another First Pitch Center. We want to make this a yearly thing, not only just a fundraiser for our baseball program, but more so give the community and give the family members of these baseball programs one chance to come together prior to this long season. Baseball is a very long season, and trials and tribulations will come throughout the season. So get them all together, get them on the same page, create a family atmosphere, and just ahead of the season that is a long one.
And one thing, once again, I know a lot of baseball fans in Kokomo are a little upset with some of the things that have been going on with summer baseball here in Kokomo. Not trying to go one side or the other, but are there games still going to be played in downtown?
Yeah, for sure. This is an awesome opportunity for Kokomo, not Kokomo High School or IU Kokomo.
Yeah.
I mean the city of Kokomo,
Correct.
Kokomo citizens, baseball fans that are from Kokomo to check out, not even from Kokomo, the local, anywhere around here, the central Indiana region, to come out and watch high-level baseball. As Jay and I were talking about before we went live, we're not at home until the second weekend of March. Or
something like that.
Yes. I don't want to say third weekend of March because I think it's shorter than that, but not home until March, so you have time. We're not going to be out here playing in the snow. We are heading south. We're going Tennessee, Louisiana, Georgia, and Tennessee the first 4 weekends of the baseball season. So we'll be in warm weather playing, or at least warmer than here, and warm enough to be playing baseball. But yeah, don't fret. You will still have opportunities to watch baseball. It won't be in the summer, though. It's not going to be in your typical summer months. We don't play in the summer. We're done by the end of May, end of June, middle of June at the latest. So make sure you are staying tuned to IUKCougars.com. This show, the Cougar Cast here with Jay and I, and we'll keep you updated on home baseball games because the city is definitely going to be lacking some home baseball flair this year, and we hope to capitalize on that and bring a little bit of a different market to our home games.
I really appreciate Grant coming on the show once again. He is one of the 2 assistant athletic directors at IUK. And guys, this has been the Cougar Cast. We'll see you next time.